Seen a little birdie sitting on my window, sitting real cool like I think it had its own ski low.
I'm Jenna Camille. I'm a songwriter and a producer and instrumentalist. When I was like 6, we moved. My parents got a bigger house. First, we were living in Clinton, and we moved into this big house in Accokeek. And when people move up in the world, they start decorating their house with shit that they don't use. So they bought this electric grand piano. I remember going to the movies one day, and I think it was The Borrowers, or I think it was The Borrowers. It was something going on with the score, and I remember going home and trying to learn it on the piano, and then eventually I would just be trying to learn all these other songs on the piano, and then eventually my mom was like, "Oh, seems to be taking a liking to it," so she put me she put me in piano lessons right away. So, yep. That's how I got started.
Were you singing before then, or do you feel like that was your first introduction to music?
Oh no, I was singing before then. The earliest I can remember is probably 4 or 5. I don't know if you remember it. It's by Desiree. It's called "You Gotta Be." It's like, you gotta be bad, you gotta be bold, you gotta be. Yeah. So that was the first song I remember memorizing all the words to. And I used to my mom, I don't remember this, but my mom used to say I used to stand on the dining room table and sing that song. I don't think I knew I wanted to be a singer. I just knew I loved to sing. I think the first time I knew I wanted to do what she was doing, but I didn't, at 4 or 5 years old, you don't have that, I know what I'm going to be. It's just oh, I want to do that because it's so cool, whatever. I think the first time I ever had the thought that I want to do something was when I started playing piano, and my first goal was I wanted to be a concert pianist because I started playing classical music, and it just seemed like you're playing classical music, that means you should be a concert pianist. So that was the first time I was okay, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. I went to Duke Ellington. And I started playing jazz. I started getting into jazz, and I wasn't as into classical music anymore because I think it partly had to do with and no diss to my instructor. I love my instructor. She was a tough lady, but I love her. But I think jazz literally kind of saved me from getting kicked out of the school. Mr. Yarborough, who is the head of the music department there, but he was also the jazz band director. So I got involved with him, and literally just by working with him, I got to stay in the school. He saved me. I felt accepted, because it was okay, you can come here. Okay, they're not accepting you over there. You can come here and you can be a part of this. And it was somewhere where I could, we were performing places and we got to go out the country to perform. So I felt like I had a family. Yeah, exactly. So it was okay, well, I love the music, but I think my love for it was more because it gave me somewhere to be instead of just kind of floating around and feeling like I wasn't good enough anywhere else.
Another day, another long night. We've both been working hard, and we're so tired of waiting all day, and I've been waiting all night for you to kiss me where the moon don't shine. I know it's late, and baby we got all night, 'cause it's the weekend and we're feeling right.
I started going to open mics a lot. I think the first one I went to was Up and Up open mic, which was at where Liv was at the time. Rest in peace, Liv. And I started going there, and I used to go there faithfully every Tuesday. I was living in Southeast, so I used to always catch the bus every Tuesday night and go up there and just wait my turn to perform. And I started feeling like, yo, like, I really want to take this seriously, because I really I think what inspired me more was just this desire to hear the songs that I had written actually be performed live, because at the time I was just writing in my room and I didn't know what any of that stuff was going to be, and I was kind of unsatisfied with just kind of entertaining myself, and I just wanted to have the opportunity to hear all the things that I've been playing with in my head actually be performed, and heard on the stage, and have people receive it and respond to it. And if you feel passionate about it, then do it. Just do it. Like Sister Act 2, she was like, if you wake up in the morning and you can't think about nothing but singing first, and you're supposed to be a singer, it's real. But at the same time, stay grounded, because it's hard. It's not easy. You're not gonna, you could, who knows if you could be somewhere and get discovered like that, or you could be singing for years and you won't get discovered until you're like 35. So you never know. But also set your goals. What are your goals? Because not everybody out here is trying to be famous. And that's something that I've struggled with a lot, because I'm such a closed person. I'm very open at the same time. Like I reveal certain things about myself, but for the most part, I don't really like to put myself in a place where people feel like they have the right to, entitled to me, or I have to produce something, or I have to put out this, or I have to speak about this, or I have to create this kind of music. I don't like that. I like to do what I want to do, and I don't want to feel bullied or pressured or owned by anybody. So I've struggled with kind of defining what it is that I'm trying to do. And somebody asked me that recently, like, what's your end goal? And I was like, I honestly just want to make music and have people listen to it. And if a lot of people listen to it, cool. If not, cool. But I'm not out here trying to be no Beyonce. I don't want to be in Time magazine, or, that's cool, but I'm, that's not my goal. So it's just like, set your goals and be honest with yourself about what it is that you want. When you're writing, set your intention, because to me, it's very important to set your intention right before you start writing your piece. Because if you're putting energy on your music that is not healthy, that's the energy that is going to be received from the people that are listening to you. So if you're trying to say something and you want that message to be clear, you need to set that in your heart and say, this is what I'm trying to say. So no matter what comes out of your mouth or what comes on the paper or whatever, that intention will always be there. Because that's what art is. It's about intention. It's about interpretation. You can interpret it to mean something, but the intention is what it is. So if the intention is not set or is unstable, then what are you saying? You're not really saying anything, because you haven't set your intention yet. So that's important. And be willing to put yourself out there. If you're a shy person, put yourself in an uncomfortable position over and over again. Put yourself on stage. Put yourself at these open mics and be willing, even if you're the quiet person in the room. Like, I was the quiet person in the room. When I started going to Up and Up, I was the person sitting in the back waiting my turn. And like, when I got on stage, my legs were shaking. I would not move out of my spot. I sang my song. I would not move. I would not, like, now people see me performing. I'm dancing. I'm doing whatever. But when I first started, I was not doing. I was like, let me hurry up and get this shit over with so I can get the fuck off of the stage. And I just kept doing that until I became comfortable. So, like, if you're one of those people that's really shy, you have to be willing to put yourself in uncomfortable positions over and over again till you get used to it. I just learn to embody the artist that I was inspired by. I stopped treating myself like an artist trying to make it and started treating myself like an artist who's made it. And as a professional, it's like, I'm coming up here to do a job. So once I changed that frame, like I stopped going from, oh please like my music, oh please, I'm just out here trying to make it, I'm following my dreams. It's like, nah, like I'm not following anything. I'm doing a job. I am a performer. I'm not an aspiring. Like I hate that shit. I hate when people say that. Like, I think somebody tried to hit me with that one time. It's like, you're aspiring. And I'm like, I'm not an aspiring. Aspiring means that that's a goal that I'm trying to reach or something. Like, I write songs. I've gotten paid to perform songs. You know what I mean? Like, I've gotten paid for this. Yes. So it's like, I'm not aspiring anything. What you mean is I'm an aspiring famous artist. I'm not an aspiring famous artist. I am an artist. Whether I become famous for my work or not is irrelevant to me. What's important is that I am here doing exactly. I'm doing my work. I'm doing what God intended me to do. So aspiring just to me is like you don't respect what I'm doing. So no, like if you know you can do it and you know you're good at it, embody that and treat yourself like a professional. So when you go out there and people are asking you to perform, it's like, okay, well, you're asking me. You must think I'm worthy of this. So, what's up? What's up? You know, like I'm not aspiring anything. I'm already doing it. So, I mean, I had to pay my dues. Yeah. I had to pay my dues. Like there is a pay your dues portion of this thing. You have to prove that what you're creating is something that people want. So, if you haven't proven that yet, you're gonna have to do a few free shows. You're going to have to do open mics. You're going to have to, play at a few barbecues and a few cookouts until, and that moment is going to come for you and for them. It's like when it comes for you and it's like, okay, well, now I feel confident. It's all about confidence. And once you get that confidence and once you start getting those calls, it's like, all right, now I'm getting these calls. Now people want me to come. So now I can start charging. This isn't some, let me do this. Let me let my little cousin so-and-so perform at the graduation cookout. Like, no, like this is people, can you play at my club? When people start asking you to play at your club, like, no, they making money. You should make money because they're asking you to play at the club because they think that you can pull people in so that you can make them some money.
Get up and down if we need to dominate something right. We can go around for round, lady on your cake, my superhero, and let me save you from the world outside. Whatever you say, I'll be your shero. Just let me hold you to my breast.
I think. It's hard to remember exactly where my mind was when I wrote that song, but I just remember thinking about Roseanne a lot because I always thought it was just really, I always thought that depiction of, because like we always like overly romanticize love and it's like, oh, I'm a chiseled Adonis Greek statured man and here's my beautiful lover and we're just this fantastical experience. Like we never really talk about, like even in love songs it's like, oh my darling, it's just like you just imagine these two beautiful people just like making love and and this is like, I love the fact that these are two just like average ass people with an average ass relationship and sometimes they get on each other's nerves and like they have issues and I just wanted to write a love song about those people because it's like not everybody is just like wine and candles. Like sometimes it's like I'm tired, I just came home from work but I still want to fuck, like it's like what we about to do. We can't just not like have a love life. Like things are tough, but it's not so much about fucking as it is about not letting life keep you from enjoying love and enjoying each other. Like I don't want to give this impression like this is just a fuck song, and no, it's really about like average Joes and like people that are like, I want people to understand like this is more about what we're going through as a people, as common people, as regular people that got jobs, that are tired, that come home and that need a release, and how that affects our relationships and how that affects the way we feel about ourselves and the way we feel about each other, and us kind of trying to maneuver through that the best way that we can. I just want people to understand, like, we can come from different places in life and be experiencing different things in our lives, but one thing that's universal, no matter what class or background you're from, is love and like connection with other people. Like, a lot of my songs are about love and about connecting, either connecting with yourself or connecting with someone else. So I just, if anything, like, I just want people to be able to connect with that. Like, at the end of the day, all this other shit doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Because when we go home, we all having the same issues. We all like hate our jobs, or a lot of us hate our jobs. A lot of us have, trauma that we're dealing with. A lot of us have relationship problems. A lot of us have friendship problems. A lot of us have problems with ourselves, and whatever. Those are things that cross the lines for everyone. So I don't know. I just want some people to have some sort of release and something that they can connect to, and like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'm not the only person that thinks of this. Yeah.
Seen a little birdie sitting on my window, sitting real cool like. I think it had its own speed low. It said, man, what you doing? This shit just coolin'. And so we vibe to the music, got high with the music. I know it sounds a little cliche, but I think I'm gonna have a good day. Yep, my mind is all made up, 'cause all work, no play makes the girl a little crazy. So this one's just maybe. I'm gonna have a good day. Yep, I'm gonna have a good day.
It's like so many projects. I have a project I'm working on with Columbia Nights. I have a project I'm working on, which is actually, I think, really close to being released in Portugal.
Really?
Yes.
So you can speak Portuguese?
No. I know obrigado, that's thank you. But I met this guy on SoundCloud. His name is Pedro. And I don't know if he goes by Babada anymore, because he hasn't been going by that for a while, I don't think. But he hit me up on SoundCloud. He's like, I wanna work with you. I wanna do like a collaboration with you. It's like, okay, cool. And he does this really cool, like, out jazz house. It mixed with, like, I don't know what their music is. I don't know that it's some Latin. It's really, it's a lot of like African percussion type stuff, but I'm not really sure what they call their music, but it's a mixture of that. It's really, really, really cool. It's really weird. It's really weird. It's really different. But it's fun. Still working on my album. It's been 3 years since I started. So initially, the concept was, the album is called Free. And the concept, I keep calling it a concept, but it's not really. It's more of a journey piece for me, because at the time, I was really going through this rebellious, like, I need a release. Because I've read, and I was just such emotional, just turmoil. And it was just like such a reckless, dramatic time of my life. And so after that phase of my life was over, I was like, oh my God, I need a release. I needed freedom. And so I just like started taking naked pictures and writing poetry and studying Buddhism and like fucking, just trying to find myself. And so it was like basically just like me writing songs in the midst of that. And I'm kind of settled back down now.
How long did that last?
It lasted at least 2 years.
So what made you like just like phase out of that?
I just got older, I guess. Because, I mean, I was like 23 when I first started. And I just ended a relationship that was like 5 years long. And so I was like, oh, yeah, you know, I was just freedom. And then it was a lot of personal stuff that I went through that kind of made me go like, ooh, let me calm down. So, and I was getting, granted, I was getting not a lot of backlash, but I was getting backlash. Some people weren't interpreting what I was doing in the way that I hoped that people would, namely my parents. The parents weren't exactly thrilled. And then there was some other people that would like, it was like some random comments, but it never bothered me because I knew what I was doing. And right. Like, fuck your opinion. Yeah. Like, fuck your opinion. Yeah. Yeah. It was like, I just saw it as art. Like, there's a lot of nude art in history. There's a bunch of naked angel babies, and Michelangelo's got his little dick hanging out. We all have the same yeah. It's just like, we're acting like we've never seen nude art before, nude photography. It wasn't like I was sprawled open. Yeah, it wasn't. This wasn't like Pornhub or anything like that. It was just, it was whatever. But, I knew what I was doing. And I still stand by what I did. I don't regret it. I'm just not doing it anymore because I'm getting older. I'm teaching or substitute teaching, and I'm thinking more about my directions. Like, if I do that again, I want to be clear about what it's for and what I'm trying to express. Exactly. I feel like right now I just be doing it to do it. I don't have any motivation behind it anymore. Fuck the system. Trump's hair is dry. He needs some moisturizer. Long live Whitney Houston. And good luck to everybody going forward in life, and make the right decisions and stop doing so much drugs, because people are dying from overdoses and people are thinking it's cute. It's like, it's not. Your friends are ODing, so chill. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
You never love me, just wanna fuck me. Another sneak inside the fortress. How can I hear